They try to take it, I'm getting it back. And if they hit me, they gotta get taxed. I'm making hit after hit after hit, and I promise you, boy, every one of them slap. Hop on a verse and I body it quick. They never work, and it's why we don't mix. I don't got time for the fake, and I swear that I'll always say real, something they never did. Oh, they saying that I'm up next. I told them that I'm up now. Promise I came for the next. I'm needing honeys on honeys, cause that's what I'm worth. Show me the finish, I'm getting it first. Show me the best, and that's me and my worst. I need that money, I'm getting it now. I'm at the top, but I started way down. I told them hundreds of times that I'm really done waiting. I swear that I came for the crown. You should go ahead and write over. I was in a 4, leveled up to the Rover. Feeling like Blake, I'ma put him on a poster. I don't really play when it come to my checks. I've been in the gym, so you know I gotta flex. If I shoot a shot, then it's gonna be a wet dog. I'm coming for these meals, I ain't taking no less. Yeah, I ain't really taking no less. Now they tryna send me that text. I ain't hit them back, they stress. I'm needing honeys on honeys, cause that's what I'm worth. Show me the finish, I'm getting it first. Show me the best, and that's me and my worst. I need that money, I'm getting it now. I'm at the top, but I started way down. I told them hundreds of times that I'm really done waiting. I swear that I came for the crown. They try to take it, I'm getting it back. And if they hit me, they gotta get taxed. I'm making hit after hit after hit, and I promise you, boy, every one of them slap. Hop on a verse and I body it quick. They never work, and it's why we don't mix. I don't got time for the fake, and I swear that I'll always say real, something they never did. Oh, they saying that I'm up next. I told them that I'm up now. Promise I came for the next. I'm needing honeys on honeys, cause that's what I'm worth. Show me the finish, I'm getting it first. Show me the best, and that's me and my worst. I need that money, I'm getting it now. I'm at the top, but I started way down. I told them hundreds of times that I'm really done waiting. I swear that I came for the crown. You should go ahead and write over. I was in a 4, leveled up to the Rover. Feeling like Blake, I'ma put him on a poster. I don't really play when it come to my checks. I've been in the gym, so you know I gotta flex. If I shoot a shot, then it's gonna be a wet dog. I'm coming for these meals, I ain't taking no less. Yeah, I ain't really taking no less. Now they tryna send me that text. I ain't hit them back, they stress. I'm needing honey.
I see you in 3D. The dawn is bright for me. No more dark for me. I know you're watching me.
Oh, what's up, YouTube? This is your guy, Hector, host of the Yankees Morning Brew. And like always, I am joined by my compadre, my guy, Mr. Pots and Pans, Mr. Jigger Man Porter.
Best intro in the game, bro.
And this is Get Yanked on this beautiful Friday, June 9th. NyynewsTV family, how you doing?
You know, your energy, bro. Every Friday, every morning is beautiful. You know, my question is, I know we've hung out late together, but like, do you keep that same energy at like while you're sitting there playing your Pokemon game at like 2 a.m?
That's between me and my Game Boy. All right, not you stay out of that. But shout out to the chat. Like I said, NyynewsTV family, how you doing? We got Juanita Renner in the building. The Yankee Clipper, my guy, Senor Jared Williams is in the building. Anthony Medina, Ayo Anthony
Medina,
doing, my friend? Like always, hope all is well with you, Anthony Medina. You know you my brother from another mother. Shane McNeil is in the chat. How you doing? Sunil, being the only Yankee fan down in Dallas. Sunil, how you doing? We got Yankee Kyle in the building. Yankee Kyle, my friend. Unclone Capone is in the building. How you doing? My guy. How you doing? Joshua Moreo is in the building. Jason Land Familia, how you doing? Lorenzo Cordona, how you doing? How you doing, Lorenzo? You like that, right? We got Luca. One half of the Twins Bill is in the building. How you doing? Jason Lang, my friend. Let's see, my Yankee 7 Marrero, how you doing? Eric Wallace, Zach Brownis, we appreciate everybody for showing up. Like always, if you guys can, smack that like button for your boys as we continue the conversation. And on top of that, if you aren't subscribed to the NYY News TV family, what are you doing with your life? This content is so good, it makes you want to smack your mama. All right, I'm done with that. How you doing, Sels?
I don't know, bro. It was really good till you told me to go smack my mama. Like, I'm afraid she's like gonna call me right now. Be like, you know what? Hector is promoting hitting moms. All right, so let's Mom, Hector loves you. He says bendición every time you're on the phone. You know it. He didn't mean it. Appreciate everybody in the chat, bro. We at least we came in this Friday after a win. You know, we got at least one of them yesterday, right? So, you know, a little bit of positivity stuff and still a lot of negativity stuff. But I think there's more than enough for us to be able to yank, you know, with stuff that's out there right now, man. How you feeling after last night's game, bro? Or after
I'm a little bit disappointed. You know, yes, we won the second game, but we split a doubleheader against a team that's purposely trying to lose when it comes to the White Sox. Like I said, I'm a bit disappointed. Got some good news when it comes to the Aaron Judge front. If you guys missed it yesterday on the Yanks Morning Brew, we had a sports medicine specialist on the show in the morning talking about Aaron Judge's injury. We'll get deep into that when talking about best case scenario, worst case scenarios when it comes to the injuries. Before we do all that, like always, we got to thank the boss, Mr. Pete Simonetti, like always, for giving us this opportunity every Friday. Petey, my best friend, I love you, my guy. Ultimately, Yankees lost. We lost the series. We're losing games when we should be winning games, but put that to the side, right? Because we're here on Friday, and we're here to have a conversation with our family in the NYY News TV family, right? So, Pete, go ahead.
We already talked about it, right? We're going to blame that Chicago series situation on the apocalypse that was New York City, right? That we had the smoke and the orange clouds. It was it took that for the Yankees to lose to the White Sox. But like you said, it's positive Friday. We'll try to spin it differently.
It literally looked like the first episode of the TV show Van Helsing. That's what New York City felt like. It looked like if you played the video game Call of Duty, zombies and stuff like that. It felt like that. Honestly, I'm glad that I could actually look out of my window and I could see the clouds, right? It was a bit scary, but like you said, the fires is over. The smoke has cleared up. The Yankees came out to play baseball yesterday, and we crapped the bed when it came to the first game, right? We got to talk about Luis Severino. We got to talk about this offense. Even though they scrapped away 5 runs in game 1, we still got to talk about it because a lot of our key pieces weren't producing in either game, right? I know Gleyber Torres, he had a home run in game 2, but Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Josh Donaldson, a big fat donut. DJ LeMahieu as well over his last 11 at-bats. The man has struck out 7 times. I said it on the last episode when it comes to DJ LeMahieu. Last year was his career worst when it comes to strikeouts. This year, he is on pace to even double that. So when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, we have to have the conversations as much as we don't want to. DJ LeMahieu is washed, bro, and we have to admit that. And the first sign when you go to like an AA meeting, one of the first things you do is admit when you have a problem. And us as Yankee fans, we may have a problem if we don't want to admit that DJ LeMahieu right now is washed.
It was last week. I said here and I said it. I'm not ready to say DJ is a problem, that DJ is washed. DJ's forcing my hand, man. And it's sad. Like, it's actually sad to watch. And it's sad that I publicly have to sit here and say, the days of La Máquina are done, it seems like, bro. Like, I don't even see like a glimmer of hope. Like, it just seems all around just that downward trend. And it's really sad to say, man, because I really, you know, me and my fandom when it comes to DJ, but it's sad. And at this point, we might have to admit that having him in the lineup is a detriment to our lineup. It does affect us in a negative way, and he's not producing anything. Oh, DJ, why did you have to do this to me and my emotions?
All right, stop it. You know, that fake acting is not going to help out DJ LeMahieu. Jared Williams in the chat, he said, I'm not giving up on DJ LeMahieu yet. I'm hoping he'll get better. And I agree, Jared. Like, I want DJ to be better. I want him to produce in the lineup, but we have to be realistic. The man is on the opposite side of 30. I think he's like 33, 34 years old right now. He had hip surgery, not this offseason, but the prior offseason. He was dealing with that toe injury that he got during the season last year. He didn't get the surgery for it. And like we had the conversation with the doc yesterday, if you don't get that surgery, other stuff starts compiling on top of it. He should have got the surgery during the offseason. Most likely he'll have it during this offseason, but we got to be realistic. We got to take our Yankee goggles off when having the conversations about DJ LeMahieu, because it's sad to say, just like Plate Rap in the chat just said, it's sad to see DJ LeMahieu fall apart. And it is sad. Rashad Thompson, my guy, Rob, Big Rob, how you doing, brother?
Thompson. Sorry, I gotta give him his rock eyebrow when he shows up, bro. He earns it every time.
Sarge is in the building. Jalen Wood is in the building. Senor Acevedo, appreciate you guys for showing up. But go ahead, Sos.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like they're saying in the chat, this is one of those times as fans where I think a lot of us are all on the same page of, man, we don't want to see DJ in this shape. We don't want DJ not to turn it around. We all hope for him. But it makes me sit back and look at if there was a different name attached to him and the stats and the players, would we as a fan base be honest about it and be like, yo, he's got to go, or hey, we got to trade him, right? If he's putting up the numbers he's putting and the struggles he's having, because we love DJ for who DJ is and what DJ means to us,
and what he done here as a Yankee, consistently batting over 300, winning a batting title with the Yankees. I know it was in that COVID shortened season, but we know what he has done for us. But ever since that contract extension he got for 5 years, he hasn't been the same DJ LeMahieu, or he hasn't even come close to what he did prior to getting that contract extension.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's a perfect example of injuries catching up, the wrong side of 30 catching up. And let's be real, you know me, I'm always going to question our training facility and our, doc and medical staff. You know, you're dealing with somebody at the wrong side of 30 with these types of injuries, and we're trusting our docs to take care of it when we can't even trust any injury reports that ever come out. So it's sad. I'd give anything to see DJ turned around. Of course, he's here. I'm going to keep rooting for him and hope it does. But at some point, and that point might be now, we as a fan base really have to have that conversation of, should DJ even be in that lineup? Because it's hurting us, bro.
Yeah, that definitely has to be a part of the conversation, right? I think Pete brought something up. Not sure about that on the screen, but the Yankee Clipper in the chat, he pointed it out.
Allen missed 6 to 8 weeks with his hip flexor.
Great. Breaking news.
Breaking news. That's why it popped up. Look at that.
With a hip flexor, according to Aaron Boone. So he's going to go on the IL for an extended period of time. So maybe we will see Estevan Florial. I don't know. Or maybe they will get some other random player that we don't know about.
You see the second comment on there? Does the Grim Reaper visit the Yankees every day? That's how it feels, right? With all the injury reports all the time.
That's exactly how it feels. And I know a lot of fans, they want to see Estevan Florial, right? And I get it. When you look at what he has done in the minor leagues, I get it. We want Estevan Florial up here. But it's a bit tricky to call up Estevan Florial, because if we call up Estevan Florial, we have to have a roster spot on him that's going to be a roster spot that's available, not just for a week or for 2 weeks, but a long period of time. 6 to 8 weeks from Greg Allen going on the IL, this is the perfect opportunity to call up Estevan Florial. Because hypothetically, if the Yankees decided to waive Frenchie Cordero or move off of Frenchie Cordero, add Estevan Florial to the 40-man roster, if we decided to call him up and send him down after 2 or 3 days or after a week, because there's no need for him and other people are coming off the IL, he has no more options to go down to the minor leagues. So even if the Yankees were to go that route, call him up and send him down after a week, you will have to DFA him. Right now, from what he's doing in the minor leagues, guarantee you there's at least one major league team that would pick him up if he's DFA'd right now. At the beginning of the season when he was DFA'd, every other team said no. 29 teams said, no, we are not interested in adding Estevan Florial to our organization. But right now, June 9th, if the Yankees were to DFA him because they don't have a space at the major league roster, I wholeheartely believe some major league team out there would pick him up. But we'll get back to Estevan Florial. I wanted to stay on the injury list and the topic of injuries when it comes to the Yankees, because I just want to point something out. Ever since 2018, the New York Yankees have had more players on the IL than any other team in Major League Baseball. Since 2018, the New York Yankees have had more players miss time on the IL than any other team in Major League Baseball, right? So it definitely is something that has to do with the training staff and the medical staff. This is a situation that something has to give when it comes to this. Go ahead, Sus. I know you wanted to say something.
Well, it was the Yankees Clippers comment in the chat. So our backup is now out for 2 months. like that's when you know it's getting super ridiculous, right? You got people that were coming up that were like, oh, all right, this person's here, and then bam, they're gone. Bro, I mean, that's a lot of seasons of leading the most injuries in all of MLB.
Yeah.
And you feel like as a Yankees fan that we think that because it's our team, right? So we just have the most injuries, but the stats are there and the facts to prove it that something is wrong with this medical team. I'm sorry. If we're dealing with the same crap year after year after year, listen, I realized it this morning after you guys were on the Yanks BREW. We're like those fans that get accustomed to being like, oh, it's normal. Injury's fine. He'll be back soon. We have to say that for so many people. That's not a good thing. Like that has become something that we're accustomed to. We're comfortable with it. Oh, it's all right. When Stanton comes back, it'll be all right. Oh, when Judge comes back, oh, it's just Rizzo's back. He'll be back soon. That's not how it should be. We shouldn't be okay in accepting that we're constantly getting injuries and just expect it. And literally, bro, name a player on our team that we don't expect to have an injury, at least be out for a month or two, and then count on them coming back. We go into the season expecting that shit. Like, that's crazy, bro. It's like me as a Jets fan. I know I'm not winning a Super Bowl pretty much every year. I know it. I accept it. I convinced myself it's going to be different. This year it will be because of Aaron Rodgers. How you doing? But, bro, I'm tired of the injury crap. It just doesn't make sense. It's a laughing stock at this point. Am I crazy? I know you agree.
No, you're not crazy, and I do agree with you. Our brother Rod Thompson with the 1999 super chat. There is a false narrative regarding Florial. Dude has only 57 major league at bats. People talk about his strikeouts. I had to watch Gallo stink for 152 games. Florial cannot be worse, and I 100% agree with Rod Thompson. If you want to point up to the 57, like you said, major league at bats that Estevan Florial got over a span of 3 or 4 seasons at the major league level, constantly going back and forth between the major leagues and Scranton, getting called up for double headers, just getting defensive replacement, just going out there to be a defensive replacement or just going out there to be a pinch runner. You're not going to see a big enough sample size to give you the information you need to make the judgment. Does he belong here at the major league level? All we are asking, I'm not going to say all we are asking, all I am asking when it comes to Estevan Florial is give the kid 2 to 3 weeks, right? It's June 9th. You got about literally 2 months left before the trade deadline is right there. This is the perfect opportunity, especially now that Greg Allen has to go on the IL for about 6 to 8 weeks. He's going to be out of away from the team. This is the perfect opportunity to give Estevan Florial a 2 to 3 week tryout, give him consistent at bats, and if he can't hack it here at the major league level, you just cut bait with him. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking you to give this kid a long-term. I'm not asking for any of that. Just give him 2 to 3 weeks to figure it out.
Well, real quick shout out. Rick says Cash is like the woman who tries to change a man. Uncle Capone said, hey, this year is different. Yeah, there's the line. Yeah. We're all used to this year's different. Bro, I mean, you and I have talked about it. We've talked about it with Pete behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. This organization obviously doesn't value Florio. They don't see him as a major league piece.
No.
So with that in mind, Flo, do you really think they're going to call him up? What other option are we looking at? They'll really probably look at bringing up. Let's say they stick with the Florio's not getting his chance. Who are we bringing back up again?
I don't think it will be Everson Pereira, because that's the only other person in the minor leagues where I'm looking at the depth chart that makes sense, right? Because you don't want to start running the clock on his options, you know. So I don't know. Esteban Florio is the only person that makes sense. If not, go out there and try to trade for another outfielder. But the obvious option, or the obvious thing that makes sense, is Esteban Florio. Yeah. We're supposed to have Harrison Bader coming back over the weekend versus the Red Sox. We didn't hear anything today about Harrison Bader. Nothing. Well, I didn't hear anything about Harrison Bader. And we were told Friday he'll be back in the lineup on Friday. Well, Friday is here. We got the lineup. Ain't no Harrison Bader in the lineup.
I don't see any Banana Bader in there.
I haven't heard any update when it comes to Bader, right? So Unclone Capo, isn't Everson Pereira hurt? Yeah. He's hurt. But that's what I'm saying. When I'm looking at the depth chart right now, the only other person besides Esteban Florio that makes sense is Everson Pereira.
And I agree with you, Acevedo. He says if they don't see him as an MLB piece, release him. We've said the same thing, you know. And I feel like they're making it really apparent that they don't believe that even when we're backed in a corner, they're not bringing him up. Like, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes that they do not believe this guy can do it.
Let's see. Bader is doing a lot better and chomping at the bit to be activated per Boone, working out in the outfield today. All right, so this is according to Brian Hoach. Thank you, Pete, for bringing that up. So when it comes to Harrison Bader, we were told he was going to be in the lineup today on Friday, right? This is the only update that we got from Brian Hoach. He's biting at the bit to come back, right? So
because yesterday
I saw, comes back over the weekend.
I read the article yesterday. The Yanks go yard, and they were saying that the update has Yankees fans wondering about his timeline. Like, we're hearing Friday this weekend, Red Sox, but then you're getting other reports that they're like, oh, it might be a little longer. Oh wait, you mean it's true Yankee fashion?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we're waiting for results. It should only be a couple days, you know, just need some rest. And then 3 weeks, a month, 60-day. Here we go again.
Well, the Yankees still didn't give us a timeline when it comes to Aaron Judge, right? No. So all we have to go off of is just us speculating, right? And we had an amazing guest yesterday, Dr. Jesse Morse, and he talked about the different possibilities that can happen with Aaron Judge. And according to the doc, from his professional opinion, this is a doctor that's licensed by MLB, the NBA, the NHL, the NFL. He normally deals with NFL players that have this type of injury, which he called like a turf toe type of thing. But he said best case scenario, Judge is back within 3 weeks, right? Worst case scenario, Judge is out for 6 to 9 weeks, right? And that's a worst case scenario if something was to pop up while he's rehabbing, right? So even if we were to go with the best case scenario, we got 3 weeks to try to figure it out, right? The only good thing that is on our side, and I said this on Yanks Morning Brew, the only good thing that's on our side is the fact that right now, when you look at our schedule, from now moving forward to the All-Star break, we only face 2 teams that are over 500. That's the Texas Rangers and that's the Baltimore Orioles. Every other team is under 500. The next 20.
Usually when you make a statement like that, bro, usually when you make a statement like that, every season, I agree with you on that. But then we come off a lost series to the White Sox, and I feel like 500 over or not, we're struggling, bro. Right? We get hype. Of course, we'll get hype if they win. When they win, always. But when we're sitting there losing series to the White Sox as well, when we lost games to the Oakland A's, when we played them last, like, it's hard to sit here and say if we win the games we're supposed to. Let's be real. As Yankees, we should win every freaking game. That's our mentality all the time. But it scares me to be like, hey, we can go up against the Mets next week in a Subway Series, even if they're in a 5-game, 6-game, 7-game losing streak. And I'm still concerned that we might have a battle that is really going to be a Subway Series where it should really be us smacking them around. Bro, it's getting so hard this season already.
Pete just put it in the chat, right? And thank you, Pete, for putting that. He said the fact is Rizzo, Donaldson, Stanton, and Glaber, they must step up big. Those 4 guys, and I'm throwing in DJ LeMahieu on top of it. Those are the 5 guys in our lineup that need to step up while Aaron Judge is out. Those 5. DJ LeMahieu, Anthony Rizzo, he hasn't gotten a hit ever since that Padres series. His batting average was 302. It's at 278 right now. He hasn't gotten a hit since that whole incident with Fernando Tatis. Those 5 guys need to step up, and they need to step up in a big way. Pete, if you could bring up the first graphic for us so we could get into it, right? Because we do have the Yankees versus Red Sox, and it's the rivalry, or as they call the rivalry.
They call it a rivalry.
I'm going to ask you, does it feel that much of a rivalry between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees? Because it doesn't feel like when I was a kid in high school getting ready to watch Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz go up against A-Rod and Derek Jeter. What's your thoughts on the rivalry? Is it still there?
First, shout out to Ronnie with the $9.99 super chat. Great show today, fellas.
Appreciate you, Ronnie.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, appreciate you. Should we? We're done, bro.
That's my guy. That's my guy, Ronnie. Appreciate
it.
Ronnie.
We did great. Listen, I'm aging myself. It's not the rivalry that it used to be, even when we did the London series, that was to me like, ooh, because it was in London. But I think it's been a while since we've really had that Yankees Red Sox. Yeah, we have the 2 cities because we like the hype, but we're 2 teams that really need to pay attention to people like the Rays. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to sit there and really call it a true rivalry. It'll always be a rivalry because of the history, but you're not getting the games you used to get when we were growing up, bro. We just don't see that anymore, and it sucks. I even felt like even when they traded Mookie away, right? Around that time too is when things started dying down with the rivalry, right? When they gave up a weapon like that. It's just, it's hard. But let's be real, we still get excited when this series comes, just like we do with the Mets and Yanks. It's ones that we want to watch as rivalries. Now, to me, rivalries are, shit, we're playing the Rays. Even these Orioles are starting to make a case for themselves like, yo, we're your next rivalry. We're the ones that are really going to step in that place. So I think we're fading, bro.
I'm laughing at the Yankee Clipper in the chat. Rivalry for the best DFA lineup. Yeah, no, 100%.
Exactly, bro.
We got to give a quick shout out to the queen of NyynewsTV, Jira. What it do? Yes, shout out to Jira. She always holds it down. The top moderator of all moderators. Like I said, she is a graduate of Pull That Shit Up University. Go ahead, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, the link has been dropped. We've got 39 tickets for September 23rd. Get your tickets ASAP. Don't miss your chance to come hang out with all of us. It was a movie. I'm telling you, it's going to be exciting. I'm also going to tell you, get in line because I hug Pete first. Jira's already accepted that fact. Get your tickets. The link's in the chat. Let's go.
It's stupid. Yeah, make sure you guys get your tickets. 38. Rogers got his. There you go. 38 tickets left. Guys, make sure you guys get your ticket because it is going to be a película. It is going to be an IMAX 3D movie September 23rd. That entire weekend. Don't miss out. But also as well.
You saw Jared Williams said, rivalry for the best mid team.
No, yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you, Jared. If you guys can, we're on 29 likes right now. We got 52 people in the building watching.
Smash it up.
Smack that like button. Smacky the like button like you are the German Sunday Domingo Herman. Pete, Pete, if you could bring up the next one, because we got to talk about Judge. I know we talked about him just for a little bit, but like Brian Holt's report also, according to Aaron Judge, there is no timetable really, which I think is best because there's a couple of things going on in there. So I think they don't want to say a timetable and there's a couple of weeks longer or a couple of weeks less. I think it's more based on how it feels. It's a very vague statement from Aaron Judge and from the Yankees. They are handling this situation like Aaron Judge got shot in the foot or something like that, right? We just want to understand, and where do you guys feel he is going to be when it comes to his recovery and his timetable? Like I said, the doc said yesterday, best case scenario is 3 weeks. Worst case scenario is 6 to 9 weeks. The Yankees are very quiet when it comes to this, so it makes you lean towards the other side. But the good thing that the doc said is that he doesn't think it's a grain 2 strain, because if it was a grain 2 strain, Judge wouldn't be able to walk around on his own. So with that being said, he thinks it's a grain 1, which makes him believe it's leaning more towards 3 weeks. What's your take on 1, the big toe watch, and 2, how the Yankees have handled the situation? Sells.
Couple things. 1, that tweet could have been written like way less words. Like literally, it could have just said, Yankees are trying new updates when it comes to medical terms, okay? They are not giving any answers. There we go. Better. Look, let's try something new. Let's not. But it took Aaron Judge's big toe for them to change their ways, all right? Listening to you and the doc yesterday and TC Steele's, you know, when he compared it to how a football player uses it and that type of injury compared to like Aaron Judge, right? You can see what he means, right? Where a linebacker or a defensive guy has to put that push off on the leg and on that toe. So yeah, of course, we're all hoping it's just that 3-week timetable, right? But I mean, that's a massive toe, bro. And if you go back and watch the replay, you see when his foot hits the concrete there on the side of the wall, you see that smash. You see the grimace in his face. You know, and when I paused it and he has that, it reminds me of when he had that last injury with that swing, remember? And he pulled everything. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's the 3 weeks. But like the doc said yesterday, man, depending on what's messed up in there, what route they take with the rehabilitation options, I'd hate for it to be a 6-9 week thing, or even you have to go into surgery type thing. It's not going to go well for us if we go down that route, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And Eric Estrada in the chat. Shout out to Eric Estrada from Chips, mind you.
Chips,
he said,
my guy.
Everybody would be livid if we got to the end of the timetable and he got pushed back, which is an absolute fact. And this is why I think the Yankees are handling the situation the way that they are handling, because they know if Yankee fans get one message from the organization, but scenarios A, B, and C happen, which is nothing comes close to what they said, Yankee fans are going to be livid. And he is absolutely right. Us fans would be in an uproar because we've seen it time and time again. This organization or this medical staff, it just seems like they don't know how to handle injuries. And like I said, when evaluating them, you just got to go on their track record. And ever since 2018, 2019, we have been leading all Major League Baseball when it comes to players on the IL and when it comes to players and missing days on the IL. So our judgment is not out of nowhere. It's warranted. It's because of this medical staff's track record, and the track record is not good.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up real quick. Yankee clip. Appreciate that. Tiki Barber, and I heard this one too on WFAN. Oh, boy, what up, Tiki?
Our friend Tiki.
He said that he had the same injury, stayed playing, and still has issues with that foot. He said Judge should be very, very careful with his return. Yeah, and the doc said it yesterday. It's one that can linger for a while. Just because he's back in 3 weeks doesn't mean that pain's going to be gone. It's going to still take time, because he mentioned it was like, what he compared to a balloon.
He said it's like but he said that bone is like, you see, like when you look at your hand, this knuckle. So just imagine this part right here before your big toe. Like this is the injury right now. But what he said is that it's on the side of it and not on the bottom of it, right? So he said it's kind of like a balloon type of thing, of a balloon losing air. But when you try to compare that with another foot injury on our team, DJ LeMahieu is the perfect one to compare it to. DJ LeMahieu, his toe situation was on the bottom of the toe, when he had to put pressure on it. Aaron Judge is on the side of it. So that's the only good thing when you look at comparing the both of them.
Yeah. You know, and let's be real, you know, Judge is a massive dude, right? That's a lot of weight that he puts on those when he's swinging. I mean, even think about his throws when he's throwing it from the outfield to home plate, like the power that he puts in that. Look at that foot. He's leaning on that. So, you know, oh, man, it's going to be rough, but I agree with everybody in the chat, man. If Judge stays on the IL long, we're going to riot, right? And if we get false reports, we're going to flip our shits. And it poses the question. I know you're bringing something up about it, but can we go another, length of series and games without Judge, bro? I don't feel comfortable with the way our team is playing, with the people not showing up.
If the White Sox series was a sample size, you definitely do not feel comfortable. Pete, if you could bring up the next one, because this one is from Keith McPherson. I'm Frank Keith at WFAN. And he said the Yankees without Aaron Judge are like an NFL team without their starting quarterback. That right there, if it's not the number one statement regarding this situation, that hits it on the head. Because Aaron Judge, if you were to compare it to football, he is our starting quarterback. When the Yankees win, Aaron Judge has a batting average of 385 when the Yankees win. So whenever Aaron Judge hits, that's when we win.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I love that he said that. Just because it's so true. And we see it time and time again. Guys, when he's there, and he's cracking, and let's be real, he was on fire. He was looking like that MVP form. I mean, we were just a week ago having people from all the organizations, all media talking about, can he replicate? Can he get closer, better in the home runs this year? And now you take that away, and I feel like it affects the team in general. Let's be real.
This is. I just want to say, every time the Yankees tweet out the lineup, this is my face. Pete, if you could bring up the next one, because this embodies how I feel having to look at the Yankees lineup without Aaron Judge. Hold on. This is my face. This is my face. This is how I sound, and this is how I look. Right.
I want to go watch The Punisher now. Right? That's from The Punisher one?
Yeah. Definitely from The Punisher, right? But no, it's true, bro. Our team goes because of Aaron Judge, right? Pete, if you could bring up the next one as well right after that.
But it's like you said, though, when you can feel comfortable when a situation like this, if you have guys like Stanton raking, he just came back. When you have Rizzo doing his thing, he's just, right now going through that little slump. But when we can sit here and say every single player,
this is who we have to be excited for, Willie Calhoun. And this is not me trying to downplay or shit on Willie Calhoun, but this has been like our hottest hitter over the past 15 days. He's hitting 308. He has a 357 on base +7, 7 RBIs as well to go on top of that. But if your lineup is relying on Big Bang Willie Calhoun to come through for you, something's not adding up. Something is going wrong with your lineup.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to our Rookies podcast with Halal and Eddie, because they jumped into Yankees and Mets lineups yesterday. Talking about, on paper, you would think we have the best lineup in all of MLB. And instead, we're having to sit here and watch a lineup be thrown out there with Willie and all these different ones. And Halal lost his thing. I mean, I saw the 13-year-old lose his mind last night. He went on a rant, which I was proud of him. Good job, Halal.
Yes, good job,
Halal. You had that fire in you. But when even 13-year-olds are pointing it out and saying, I've got to be excited about Willie Big Bang Calhoun, when I've got names on our roster that are Aaron Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, Glaber.
You know what our lineups feel like right now? You know, when you first get MLB The Show, right? And you try to go online to play and you get like the generic open packs. That's what our lineup feels like. It feels
They're
like
all
a
that
generic
62,
open
64,
pack
59
lineup.
card.
Like 67, 74.
Okay, but
that's
hold on.
what you feel like,
but
bro.
Hold on, let's be real though. And tell me, because I have a feeling you'll say yes, like I do. You still try to play that first game with that pack, don't you?
I definitely do, bro. I definitely do. And I do the spanking of the booties, right? Yankees fan. Yeah, I am. Yankees. Yeah, I get burnt. I get destroyed. Yankees fan 2004 says it in the chat. It honestly looks like a split squad from spring training. It definitely does feel like a spring training split squad.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
It definitely does when it comes to that, bro.
We have yet to see like our actual full lineup once this season, right? Not a single time, have we?
No. Oh, well, at the beginning. No, we
didn't. No,
we didn't even start off the season with Harrison Bader.
Yep.
And all of this is a $300 million payroll, like Pete just pointed out in the chat. This is what you get for when you spend $300 million. Forget about what was going on in Queens and the Mets and their crazy ass payroll, and because they're horrible. But look at us with the Yankees. This is what you get for a $300 million team. This is what the fan of the most expensive ticket in Major League Baseball gets you. It gets you Willie Calhoun as your leadoff hitter. How you doing?
You said it. I just wanted, like, I was about to have you get yanked on our own show, bro. I was like, oh, that hurt, bro. It's just, it's brutal. You know what? Let's move to the next one.
Yeah, let's move to the next one, because this all works hand in hand, right? Because we're gonna have to make some moves. The front office as a whole, Brian Cashman, he's gonna have to get on the phones and start making some moves. My guy Nick on Twitter says left field is a clear area of need for the Yankees. But there could be an argument that we need more than just one bat, depending on how the next month and a half go. A catcher and a third baseman, those are the two areas Cash needs to make an improvement with this team, and he is 100% right on it, right? I know we got Josh Donaldson coming back, but when you look at the stats from our third basemen this year, it's below 200 batting average. When you look at our left fielders this year, below 200 batting average, right? Jose Trevino was amazing last year. And even this year defensively, he is not an offensive catcher. Those are three spots right there. Left field, third base, and catcher that we need to upgrade. Because if the first 6 spots in our lineup aren't coming through, and then our bottom 3 positions, third base, left field, and catcher, if they're just automatic outs, that puts too much pressure on Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Rizzo, DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres, et cetera, et cetera. We need to upgrade those other positions if we want our main guys to step up.
Yeah, and let's be real. Third base is being thrown in there, and it's being forced to be in there because Donaldson and because DJ is having the season that he's having. If DJ was playing DJ level, we could be okay with saying, cool, we got DJ at third. But because we're having that struggle with DJ as well and having to rely on Donaldson, who came back, congrats. You came back. You cracked 2 home runs. You came with that chip on your shoulder. And then you were back to normal form right afterwards, right? So it sucks because we go into it with, okay, we know we need to upgrade left field for sure. We know that 100%. We've been saying that since the offseason, okay? And then it's like, okay, if we're looking at another one, yeah, let's look at catcher. It'd be nice to upgrade there. But now we're putting ourselves in a situation where it's, keep adding. Oh, now we also need a third baseman. Now we need this. And then on top of it, everybody wants to talk about the trade market and trade deadline and all that. Our guys aren't performing enough to be beneficial trade assets. So we can talk about it all we want. Guys, it took literally our entire Yankees fan base for Severino to come out and have one good game. Okay, and everybody was like, oh my God, sell Severino. And you and I sat here and we said, no, don't trade him. Hope he does well and keep him for the rest of the season. And what happens? We see Sevy shit the bed, right? So again, all that, let's trade him. For what? For what? What are you getting back for Sevy? Please name anybody on this roster right now that is going to give us a return that is amazing. So not only are we adding more needs, but we're making it that much harder to even go after those needs. And we're going to end up watching the same old BS from Cashman, where we end up with another Willie Calhoun. Like, that's literally what we end up seeing. So don't get your hopes up right now about us making amazing trade moves, because without us giving up a lot of the pieces some of the pieces we have left in our minors system, guys, it's going to be rough treading and sledding for a foreseeable future. Bro.
And like I said, this is not us having a let's shit on Willie Calhoun moment.
Right. No. This is not
Willie Calhoun. He is a solid backup. He is a solid 4th or 5th option coming off of the bench. But that should be his role, coming off of the bench. Not being your leadoff hitter, not being your replacement for Aaron Judge. That's not what Willie Calhoun should be. That's not the type of player he is. And like
Willie comes off the bench, you play the he bang. We get hyped for it, and then he goes and sits his ass back down.
But like Pete points out in the chat, I bring up catcher, left field, and third base. We got Dominguez down at the minor leagues, right? We want to see his batting average get better, but we have him down at the minor leagues. We have Oswald Peraza playing third base. We have Austin Wells and Ben Roy back to be catchers. Why can't they get an opportunity? If anyone deserves an opportunity, it's Peraza more than anybody else. He has done everything that this organization has asked him. That young kid has done. You called him up last year. He played good for you in the field. He hit over 300. You sit him down in the postseason in the first round. Then you have the kid play in the ALCS. He's done everything that you have asked of him. The only thing that I could think of is that the front office, they don't want the two fan bases, or not the two fan bases, but they don't want the fan base to be split down the middle and have people rooting for Volpe and have another people rooting for Peraza. They don't want to have the Volpe and Peraza conversation going on within the fan base. For me, to hell with it. Bring up Peraza. Let him play third base. Let him play second base. He deserves it. He definitely does.
Yeah, the other thing too, bro, is when we talked about it, I think it was 2 weeks ago on Get Yanked, about the Mets with the young boys playing, right? They brought them on, the baby Mets. And I feel like they watched that a little bit. And they're like, ooh. And then when they see that it's not working, they can use that as an excuse. Like, oh, look, you see, other teams try to just bring these guys up and it doesn't work out. The point is, it's still not working right now the way we're running it. It's not working. We have issues. So why not? If these kids are showing that they've got that talent there, bring them up. Give them the chance. It can't go any worse. Newsflash, we lost the series to the White Sox. Newsflash, I think it's okay to say, hey, maybe we should bring up these guys that are actually having fun, actually hitting the ball, actually playing good defense. Maybe we do that and not sit here and keep hoping and praying and relying on guys that are just not turning it around.
We need to shake it up, and we need to shake it up as fast as we can. I'm calling it right now. It needs to start with the firing of Dylan Lawson as the hitting coach. Shelly Duncan needs to be promoted. Instead of being the manager at Scranton, he needs to be the hitting coach with the Yankees at the major league level. What happened?
I was waiting for it. It came. Don't worry. We have a lot of guys that hit a professional 190. But man, listen,
I do not. Hold on. I do not remember a time during the George Steinbrenner era with the Yankees that we had multiple guys hitting below 200. I do not remember a time. Do you remember a time?
I don't.
When George Steinbrenner was around, even in the 80s when the Yankees were crap in the bed.
Listen, it's a new world, bro. It's 2023 when Buck Showalter's sitting there saying, I'm proud of the guys. They put up runs. They're resilient. You lost the game. You keep blowing games and you're still out here saying, way to go. I'm proud of you guys. Participation trophies for everybody. Like, it's mind boggling to me, bro. 100% doesn't make any freaking sense. So Neil even put in there, think about this. Next week's Subway Series will neither have Judge nor Alonso.
That's crazy to even think about. That's crazy to even think about.
Oh, you mean the two main pieces that both sides would love to see in a Subway Series? Guess what? Not happening. Not happening. So is it even called the Subway Series anymore?
Oh, yeah, it's still be called the Subway. You know they're still going to try to milk that, try to get as much money as possible. Also, guys, if you guys can, we got 64 people in the building, or 62 people in the building right now. We are sitting on 40 likes. If you guys can smack that like button, let us get up to 60 likes on the stream right now. Sunil said Dylan Lawson did an epic Jason Kidd impersonation, saying he doesn't care about the regular season stats. Just make the playoffs. What happened to Kidd? He got fired.
Facts.
He got fired from the Bucks.
He got yanked. All right. This is just dumb. I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
Mr. Potato. Listen,
let's jump to the next one, because we did have a bright spot yesterday, and we got to talk about him. Randy Vasquez, 5 2/3 scoreless innings against the White Sox. Overall, in his first 2 major league starts, 10 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hit, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 3 hit batters. When it comes to Randy Vasquez, his first start was a bit rocky. You know, the control wasn't there. He was walking guys, hitting guys. Second start, 100 times better. That control was there. When he has his control, he is filthy, and he can keep hitters guessing and keep them off their toes. I like what I see out of Randy Vasquez.
Yeah, he was a bright spot. I'm just at that point too, bro, where I'm afraid to get excited about guys when they come out their first 3 games pitching, right? Like, think about it. I think of Brito, right? Ooh, that first one, we were like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that me and Pete called. That's the one we called
bro.
at the at Gramercy Ale House together.
Right. You know, and it's like I guess maybe I'm just like burned and I've got like past trauma about it. So I'm like, but I'm excited. I was happy to see him turn around. He looked good. He looked really good, you know? So I feel like we should like maybe get with Pete and make it a new rule for all of our content. We have to have a minimum amount of games before we really grade them. Like they have to pitch at least 4 before we get super hype. But we're in this situation that we're in right now. That's little things like this that do get us excited. Obviously, he got sent down because we got the rest coming up. You know, we knew that was going to happen. But I'm excited to see him come out again, bro. I really am.
Even and this is the thing, and this is why I still have hope for this season, right? I'm not saying this season is a complete wash, because when you look at our bullpen, we have the #1 ranked bullpen when it comes to ERA, 2.85. When it comes to opponents' batting average, opponents are hitting 211 off of our bullpen. That's first in Major League Baseball. Our bullpen is allowing 0.75 home runs per 9 innings. That is first in Major League Baseball. Our ground ball rate is 52%. That's first in Major League Baseball. Our wins above replacement when it comes to our bullpen is 5.6. That is first in Major League Baseball. When you look at Clay Holmes, who a lot of Yankee fans, we get nervous whenever we see Clay Holmes out there pitching for the Yankees. But over his last 16 appearances, he has allowed 1 earned run. Our bullpen is what's carrying us this season. Our starting rotation is a top 10 starting rotation, even with the injuries that we have and people that we are missing. We have Garrett Cole going tonight against the Boston Red Sox. If there was ever a time we needed Garrett Cole to step up, that's tonight. He doesn't have great numbers against the Boston Red Sox. But when I say we need Garrett Cole to go 7 innings, we need him to go 7 innings. We need our starting pitchers, especially Garrett Cole, to go deep in the games to give our bullpen some rest, because we're bending them to the point that they may break. Even though how they've been phenomenal for us and they've carried us, the only reason we have this record right now is because of our bullpen, but we have to give them some breathing room.
Yeah, and let's be real. You know, I'm not on the Holmes train. You know that, right? I don't trust him as a closer. I don't think he should be our closer.
Facts.
Okay,
Facts.
like maybe bring him in when you need just 3 outs in like the 7th or 8th inning. You know what I mean? Like definitely make him just a reliever. But I am not comfortable. I don't care how many in a row he looks decent. I don't care. Like I do not trust that guy, and I hate to be in that spot. But there's nobody, not even Clay Holmes, that can do anything at this point to convince me that he is a true closer. Not for me. Not for this Yankees team. He's got to go. Not got to go, but you know what I'm saying? As not our closer.
I agree with you when it comes to him being the closer.
But,
stay in the bullpen as a 7th or 8th inning guy. But when it comes to being the closer, the Yankees, they have to go out there and they have to find a closer.
So,
now, whether that's Alexis Diaz with the Cincinnati Reds, when it comes to Diaz, I think the Reds are in a perfect spot right now that they're rebuilding. They got all their young kids coming up. I don't think they trade Diaz. I don't think that at all. And even if they are going to trade Diaz, it's going to be a big package that brings him back. When the Yankees traded Aroldis Chapman to the Chicago Cubs, when they won the World Series, we got back Gleyber Torres, who was top 3 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. If we want a closer on that level, we're going to have to trade Jason Dominguez, Austin Wells, or Spencer Jones. That is what it's going to cost if we want a top level reliever or closer coming to our bullpen. That is what it's going to cost to get it done.
Yeah, but and that perfect segue, or actually referencing back to what we were talking about earlier. We're looking at left field, we're looking at third base, we're looking at catcher, but then we because of all that, we're not paying attention to, hey, we also need a closer. We really do. I see people in the chat now, since we're talking about it. Hey, Holmes, King, 7th, 8th, right? You can swap those two between 7th and 8th. Setup guy, 7th inning guy, King and him, right? We don't have a true closer. So again, at trade deadline, would you prioritize having a closer come over here?
If I had to prioritize, anything, it's a left fielder.
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, even without having a closer, we still have the number 1 bullpen in baseball.
Would you put a closer ahead of another catcher?
Oh yeah. If I had to link them, it will be a left fielder, it will be a closer, and it will be a catcher or a third baseman.
Facts. Okay, same page.
That's what I'm looking at when it comes to upgrades, and that's the ranking that I'm putting them. Left field is a priority, right? Because Mr. I know everything, Brian Cashman, decided to come into the season with a left field platoon of Aaron Hicks, Oswald Cabrera, and IKF. One of those guys is not even on the team anymore. Two of those guys weren't even signed or drafted to be outfielders. Those are infielders that they converted into outfielders. So the fact that our front office didn't get us a quarterly level, everyday major league left fielder going into the season, that's a problem. That right there is front office malfeasance.
Bro,
at the highest level.
All you got to do is turn on MLB The Show right now. Okay. Well, now it's the update came out yesterday, so Stanton's back in the lineup and stuff. But 2 days ago, when you downloaded it and they took Judge out and they had to update it back with Stanton, then when you do the online play, I'm like, hold on, you tell me I got to sit here and because it has those injuries, and I'm like, I literally have a lineup of IKF, Donaldson. Like, I'm like, God, even seeing on the video game, it depresses me. Like, it's just. And again, IKF, let's be real, he's been doing great as a utility piece for us. You know, he's coming alive.
That's all he is a utility, a solid utility. He's not an everyday left fielder. He's not an everyday center fielder. He is a solid role-playing backup. That's all he is. Kyle Hartranft is in the building. Kyle said, much respect, guys. Kyle, appreciate you joining. He also said the front office is trash and needs a change now. Can't argue with that one 100%. But And this is the thing also, when you look at the market when it comes to trades, right now, it's kind of hard to tell who's going to be available at the trade deadline. When you look at left field options, the number one option that people have is a Cody Bellinger. But he's been injured for the Cubs this year. He has money attached to him. The Yankees are already at the luxury tax threshold. So I'm not sure if they want to add 18, 19, 20 million to the payroll when it comes to Cody Bellinger. So that right there.
Did you cut out or is that me?
That was me. That was me. I had, that was me. I hit the button.
He got so excited. He started yanking his wires.
I had Jorge Soler as an option, right? But the fact that the Miami Marlins are competing for a wild card spot, they're not in no rush to trade Jorge Soler, right? So when it comes down to the market, who's out there for us to trade for? There's not that many options. There's not that many things that we could do to upgrade the left field situation here with the Yankees. And that's sad.
Not only that, let's be realistic. Let's say we go into the, coming up on the trade deadline, going to the All-Star break and all that, and we're 10, 11, 12 games behind. Are you as an owner saying, yeah, you know what, I'll pay extra to pass the tax threshold to go chase it when you're already that many games behind? Let's be real. From a business standpoint, you're not doing that shit.
I push back just a little bit because for the division, we may be out of it from the division, but we're still in it for the wild card, and that's why the wild card is in there.
Look at who our front office is. Do you see them saying, "Yeah, let's go spend all this money" when they're here selling us that we have to get comfortable having Josh Donaldson, IKF? We had to start with Aaron Hicks, and all of a sudden we believe that they'd be like, you know what? Yeah, let's spend all this extra money. They're gonna go dumpster diving. They're gonna try to get those low key trades. And that's what's going to piss me off even more, bro.
And shout out to Mr. Potato Head in the chat. Sorry about the audio going out. I have faith in Hal Steinbrenner only. I have no faith in Brian Cashman, right? From when Hal Steinbrenner was on that podcast earlier on in the season, like a month or so ago, whatever it was, I have faith that he wants his perception when it comes to the Yankee fans to change. He wants the Yankee fans to look at him in a different light. So I feel that Hal Steinbrenner, if the deal is to be made for Cody Bellinger to bring him here and put him in our lineup to play left field, I think Hal Steinbrenner will sign off on it. Now, I have no faith that Brian Cashman will call the Chicago Cubs and to try to get a deal done. I have no faith in that. But I do have faith. If there's a deal to be made to add money to our payroll and to this lineup, I think Hal Steinbrenner would sign off on it, bro. He already ate $30 million when it comes to Aaron Hicks. So I definitely think he would sign off on it.
Yeah, that was the sign of grace for all of us, and I think that's a bigger
like I said,
because
he wants his perception from the Yankee fans to change. He doesn't want to be booed. He doesn't want to be booed at Old Timers Day when Old Timers Day is back in the Bronx this year.
Let's look at this one from Yankee Clipper. Here's a get yanked for left field comment.
Go ahead.
Where to go? Hold on.
Braves announcing last Friday's game. Like Jeter is Mr. November and Reggie is Mr. October. Marcel Ozuna is Mr. May. Are you kidding me comparing those names to Ozuna?
Listen, sometimes they get free drinks in the booth, bro. You don't know what kind of day it was. He may have just had a little bit of that.
There's a reason why Susan Waldman, they make her walk down to the field to give her post game because they don't want her to be that drunk when the Yankee game is over. But no, I just don't know who they're gonna go get.
Yeah, I mean, it's all speculation. It's stuff we got to think about. Let's talk about this series, bro. How are you really feeling about this Red Sox series?
Like I said earlier, we got to win all 3 games. we got to sweep the Boston Red Sox. If there's any little rivalry that's there, it's for us to sweep the Red Sox, right? We are at 46 likes, 55 people are in the building. If you guys can smack that like button, help us get to 50 likes on the stream.
We'll wait. Go ahead. We'll wait right now.
No. We're not going to wait. We got to keep talking. Pete, if you could bring up the next one for us, because we got some good news when it comes to Carlos Rodon. Mr. Carlos Rodon, he threw 20 pitches the other day. He threw to Jake Bowers and Oswald Cabrera, right? So he was able to have 2 batters to face live batters. According to Carlos Rodon, I mean, I stepped on the mound and faced some hitters. That's a step towards the end goal of pitching here for the boys. So, yeah, it was a good step. Rodon said on Wednesday to the New York Post. This is a good sign for us, right? Carlos Rodon, he is making his way back. And I think the Yankees front office is banking on the fact that Carlos Rodon, he's going to be pitching heavy innings and he's going to be reliable for us in the second half. That's the only thing that I could take out of that when it comes to Carlos Rodon. We need him to come back healthy. We need him to be that big ace next to Garrett Cole in the starting rotation. What's your take, bro?
Well, first on Rodon, I want to make sure I credit it. I wasn't sure if it was, I can't remember if it was Pete or if it was Don Sicario. It was somebody from our MRY News fam. So if you're in the chat, let me know if it was you. But I saw the best tweet when they talked about he was out there pitching those pitches, and they said, and tomorrow morning we find out Rodon's on the IL because he caught emphysema standing outside during that. I was dying laughing.
I was thinking that too, bro.
I was like, oh my God. Look, we need him back, right? But my question, bro, is should we temper our expectations? It's going to be amazing to have him back, but of course we want him to come out and be the Rodon that we're expecting. Should we be tempering our expectations as a fan base that it might take a minute or two, a couple games for him?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You do have to temper your expectations. Right. It's just like Luis Severino, right? We've seen Luis Severino pitch 4 games since he came back off of the IL, and he's working his way back after not pitching in spring training and to not pitching to start the season, right? When you look at Luis Severino and his 4 starts, if you were to line it up with spring training, yesterday's start was his second to last start, right? You want like 5 to 6 starts before you get ready to get into the season. So when you look at it from the spring training perspective, Luis Severino, he's in spring training right now. So he's trying to work his way back up. That's going to be with Carlos Rodon. His first 4 to 6 starts, depending if he has 2 or 3 starts down at AAA or AA, however the Yankees want to do it. And by the time he makes it back here to the major league roster, he's going to have 3 starts to get himself going. So that's why us fans, we have to just, like you said, temper our expectations and not expect Carlos Rodon to go out there and pitch 7 or 8 innings in his first few starts back. That's not going to happen. You got to be realistic.
Yeah. And like Pete said, the good thing is the mustache Poppy, for some reason, the only grown man that can get me to call him Poppy, is available to go in and just be a replica of Rodon. He's got the stash. He's looking like Rodon right now.
He kills it with that stash. I'm a bit jealous. I can't grow my mustache like that. So yeah, I'm a bit jealous when it comes to the mustache Poppy. But let's switch it up because Pete, if you can, let's talk about this lineup. We have this lineup tonight for the New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, this is a dope lineup, bro.
Oh, God. DJ LeMahieu is leading it off at second base because obviously after Gleyber Torres hits a home run and breaks his offer, he has to sit down. So DJ LeMahieu is leading it off. Josh Donaldson is at third base batting second. Anthony Rizzo is the first baseman batting third. Giancarlo Stanton is cleaning up as the DH. Jake Bowers, a.k.a. Jack Bowers, is in right field. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is the center fielder today. McKinney is in left field. Jose Trevino, our amigo, is the catcher, and Anthony Volpe is the shortstop. With Garrett Cole on the mound, who is, I believe, 5-0 or 7-0 in the season. I really forgot what's his stats, but yeah, super excited. Look at this lineup. $300 million right here for you, bro. $300 million. You got IKF, who was an infielder playing center field. You got Jake Bowers, who was a first baseman playing right field. You got Billy McKinney, who played his first game in center field yesterday in his major league career in left field today. I am super excited with this lineup and this team, bro. I'm ready to go.
Kevin Cruz in the chat. DJ leading off. Did you see his rocket pinch hit to the pitcher yesterday? Yeah, good call. But, look, Maybe we will have one of those games. Remember that last one that they came out with a lineup that we were like, what the hell? And that was one of the games they put the most runs up. We need something. We need life. It's hard for me to say we haven't.
Acevedo says, guess I'm not watching this series because of blackout. If you're having any blackout issues, Acevedo, just go to strikeout.nu. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Strikeout.nu.
Yeah.
If you're having any blackout issues with watching the game, enjoy yourself. Just make sure you
just come right here anyways. You come here. We can't watch it. We get blackout spots. We got a Pete Seminetti, the boss, the poppy mustache himself.
Facts.
Give us all we need when it comes to the Yankees. And let's be real. It's more fun to watch Pete than it is watching our Yanks right now. So I promise you, Spanky is more entertainment than that lineup we have going out tonight.
Definitely. But let's live in the hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
Because Pete put it out there, and it's been reported on Twitter that the Yankees and the Padres are engaging in talks for Juan Soto. Who are you comfortable with trading for Juan Soto? Let's have this conversation before we get out of here. Who are you trading for Soto?
Who they want?
Exactly. That's exactly how That's exactly how I'm starting the conversation. Who do you want?
Right.
As much as I love Dominguez and want to see him at the major leagues with us, Dominguez, you can go. Austin Wells, you can go. Spencer Jones, you can go. Oswald Peraza, you can go.
And it sucks to say it because, of course, we know, they could be the future for us, but you're talking about Soto. Right, you got to call. Like, I'll call my kids right now, ask them if they want to move. I'll get them in that package deal. I'll be like, listen, guys, you'll be taken care of. Just go work.
Yeah, you'll be in San Diego working for free and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah.
If we had an outfield of Juan Soto, Harrison Bader, and Aaron Judge, we are set up for the next few years.
That's it. We don't talk about left field anymore, period. We don't talk about outfield conversations.
Kerm said, you want Tatis as well? No, I don't want Fernando Tatis. I'm not that crazy, Kerm. But if it is Juan Soto, I'm taking Juan Soto. Acevedo says Jones, Dominguez, Will Warren, Peraza, bye. Play that NSYNC song, bye, because I am definitely on you when it comes to that. When it comes to Juan Soto's cockiness, Juan Soto's swag at Yankee Stadium in a Yankees uniform in 2023 will give you Reggie Jackson vibes. That's the level of swag and cockiness Juan Soto has. It will be like Reggie Jackson 2.0, but in 2023, 2024 in Yankee Stadium. But knowing the Yankees, if the Yankees trade for Juan Soto, check this shit out. Because he has a high walk rate, the Yankees will have Juan Soto lead off the games with Aaron Judge hitting right behind him, instead of actually going out there to get a leadoff hitter and having Juan Soto bat 2, Judge bat 3. Knowing the Yankees, if they trade for Juan Soto, he would become our leadoff hitter.
Yep. And I looking at what Kyle said in there, I know, Kyle, I agree with you. It's even hard to say his name when it comes to Dominguez, right? I feel he's a future superstar. We all do, right? But that's where the problem is, bro, is we don't have enough on this right now that are assets that'll make something like that happen. So a Dominguez would have to be included with that, because the same thing we see, everybody else sees as well. They all feel that he's going to be that superstar. So that, you know, in real world scenario, it would probably have to include Dominguez. Like, not even a problem. You're definitely putting him in that package, right? But Pete said here, where was it? I just saw it. Let me just say this. I know for a fact the Yankees will be involved in Soto during free agency. Let's go. Like, you have to be. How are you not a part of those conversations, right?
Yeah.
Do you really see Soto being traded before the deadline?
This year, I'm not sure. So. Maybe next year. I'm not sure. And it's a big hypothetical with the maybe for next year. Because I think the Padres want to try to go all in while they have Juan Soto, because they traded away all their top prospects. They're going to try to recoup whatever they can try to recoup when it comes to prospect capital. But I think the Padres, they're going to try to win with Juan Soto, and he's most likely going to be a free agent. The only question I have to you is, do you wait till he becomes a free agent, or do you try to trade for him before that even happens? That way you can cut off every other major league team and offer him that contract extension. What do you do?
I mean, obviously, we're on the same page of Hal's willing to spend money. That's the type of guy you're going to spend money on, right? So the options there, but I mean, I don't know, bro, because again, the names we would have to attach, right? Now, if you're telling me we can pull it off and Dominguez stays and then we throw those other pieces out there, you make the trade happen, you extend him, have the same conversation you had with Judge. What's it going to take? How much? Done, right? So, but I'm guessing you're leaning towards trade for him and get him re-signed, right? Trade and sign him.
I say do it right now. If you could get it done right now, you do it right now. Do it right now. You trade for him and you give him that contract extension ASAP. And you got to look at it. I know a lot of people, they argue from the fact of his offense hasn't looked good since being in San Diego. It's a big-ass ballpark, right? Not that many people can hit in San Diego and actually have good stat lines, right? The last player that I know that hit well in San Diego and hit over 300 with power was Adrian Gonzalez, right? But then he went to the Boston Red Sox and was never able to be to that same level that he was before. So if I'm the Yankees, I'll trade for Juan Soto, because his bat at Yankee Stadium will play a lot better than his bat in San Diego.
Well, real quick, I'll give some shout outs in the chat. Kevin Cruz, let's start with Acevedo, said Soto just bought a house in San Diego. It's
It's easy to sell that.
It's a seller's market.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally a seller's market right now.
Yeah, for real. Kevin Cruz, we missed out on Machado and Bryce Harper. We can't drop the ball with Soto.
Facts. That's a big time facts, Kev.
Kyle went with no, not this year, unless some out of this world offer comes up. Well, let's be real. We're the ones that have to match whatever out of world offer comes from another team. So yeah,
and I think San Diego, they're gonna wait for whatever happens with Shohei Ohtani in order for them to set the market for Juan Soto. They don't want to, since they have this high commodity in Juan Soto, they could get back a lot of prospects. They want to get as much back for him as possible. So if Shohei Ohtani is going to be traded from the Angels to whatever team, the Padres could just sit back, see what Ohtani gets, and set the market for Juan Soto based on that, because Juan Soto is younger than Shohei Ohtani. I know he's not a pitcher like Shohei, but he is he is a hell of a lot younger, and you could get back way more for Juan Soto than you can for Ohtani, who's going to be a free agent at the end of the season.
Yeah. So CWE says, does Juan Soto want out of the Padres? I don't know. I'm not looking at reports.
There's a reason he didn't sign that contract extension from the Washington Nationals. Juan Soto wants to be a Yankee.
And here's one I love. Oh, actually, before we do the next comment, Banana Kev with the hit the like button, people. Let's go.
That's right.
Button smashed.
Smack that like button.
I like Enzo, my guy. Tell your mom we said how you doing.
Yes, how you doing, Enzo?
New York, and with the Dominicano fan base all around him, he's gonna feel like he's home. Facts, bro.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
So yeah, right now we're talking about it. It's, that pipe dream kind of deal. Best case scenario, can we pull it off? But to answer the original question, you do whatever it takes. If the man wants to come in, it's something for a fact he wants to be here. You pull the trigger and you do what you got to do to get Juan Soto.
And like Kyle just asked in the chat, okay, question, Ohtani or Soto? It's 100 times Soto. I'm going with Soto all the time, every day, all day. I'm going with Juan Soto. And one of the main reasons why is that
all day.
Ohtani's a special type of player. We're not trying to take away anything from Ohtani.
No,
right?
Ridiculous.
Is Ohtani the best pitcher in the league? No, he's not the best pitcher in the league. Is he top 5, top 10? Yes, he's top 5, top 10. Is Ohtani the best hitter in the league? No, he's not the best hitter in the league. Is he top 5, top 10 hitter in the league? He absolutely is. Is Juan Soto a top hitter in the league? Juan Soto is a top hitter in the league.
Yep. And you know what?
Point blank, period.
Took the words right out of my mouth. How long is Ohtani going to be able to do both?
Facts.
Right? Like, you got to take that into consideration. But listen, we've said it before and I'll say it again. All right. People that throw shade at Ohtani get yanked. All right. You cannot throw shade at the guy. The kid is a talent beyond belief, but he's not somebody that at the end of the day belongs with New York or fits.
It's not just that. We don't have a spot for Ohtani because if the Yankees are going to trade for Shohei Ohtani, they're not. And if they want him to pitch, they're not going to let him play left field and hypothetically injured himself playing the outfield, right? If they want Shohei Ohtani, they're going to want him to be a DH and be a starting pitcher. We got Giancarlo Stanton taking all the space in that DH spot. We have no place for Shohei Ohtani on this team. It's crazy to say that, but there is no place for Ohtani. The Yankees aren't going to make Ohtani the DH and put Giancarlo Stanton in left field. That's not going to work out. Stanton gets hurt just farting or going to the bathroom. Right, so they're not going to put him out there in the outfield. So,
and looking at what Pete said,
Soto makes more sense.
Yeah, and Pete said, I know for a fact the Yankees will be involved in his free agency. They should be, right? And if he does come this way because things work out, then of course we'll celebrate it. I just don't see it being a reality or realistic for him to be out this way. That's just kind of where I'm at with that one.
No, 100%. And L.I. Yankee King, I see what you're saying about what's it going to cost to get Juan Soto, and I agree with you. It's gonna cost a lot. It's gonna cost you Dominguez, Will Warren, Oswald Peraza, Austin Wells, Spencer Jones. All your top prospects is gonna cost to get you Juan Soto, but you make that move if you're trying to win a World Series within the next couple of seasons. Point blank, period.
Yeah, I mean, even Eli said something in there, right? Eli Yankee King, the biggest hands in the chat. That dude's hands are just massive.
He's a monster, bro. He's a monster.
But he said, Kevin, Pete, and Jigga, and Hector, here is my reason.
That's what I was just, that's what I was just referring to.
Yeah, you just read it. All right, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, Soto's 24. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, that's
he's literally just a couple of more years older than Volpe.
Yeah, that's it. But again, it's one of those things. If you're going to make that push for the series, because if you're going for that chip and you can pull it off to have him here, you need it.
Yeah,
because in 2 or 3 years, age-wise, there's a lot of restructuring that has to be done.
Definitely. Let's get ready to wrap it up because it is 5:20. Time goes by like that when we're having fun over here on NYY News TV. We appreciate all of you Yankee fans who showed up today. Like always, smack that like button, smack the subscribe button. Make sure you watch Game Season live later on today with my brother, Mr. Petey Seminetti. And like always, be kind to all you different Yankee fans out there. So any last words for the people before we get out of here, you handsome son of a bitch, you?
I'll be in the chat tonight. I got no other show. I am just locked in on the Game Season tonight with Pete and the fam. I'm ready for some baseball, baby. You know what? Let's give him that outro. Come on,
Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you have tuned in to another great episode of Get Yanked. I am your guy, Hector, always joined by my brother, Mr. Jigga Man Porto. And if you ain't down with us, we got 2 words for you.
Get Yanked!
Oh,
the competition. But if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back. Let's get back to winning.